Alright, hello everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to y'all. I am Mr. No Life and commentating with me today is Liliana, and today we will be presenting for round of 16 United States against Singapore.
Yeah, it's gonna be a fun match here. Got late rescheduled, but hey, we're here. It's a 16:30 UTC match. I think this one should be United States favored. They are coming in as the number one seed in the tournament. They got first in qualifiers, and they are a powerhouse team to beat. Singapore, they've got some work cut out for them. Not really sure how Singapore wants to choose to go down for picks bans, but I think at the most maps are going to be either contestable or United States favored, unfortunately.
Yeah, I've taken a look at the qualifiers results, which happened 3 weeks ago, mind you. Yeah, United States has taken a 3 week break, like in between qualifiers and now, which means like the results like may vary, but they are still extremely dominant. Singapore hasn't beaten them in a single map in the qualifiers score comparisons.
Yeah, very, very dominant team here. I think Singapore fought hard in the group stage. I believe they had to play group stage. Yes, they did. So this is going to be a difficult match regardless, but loser of this match will just drop down to loser's bracket, so not going to be that big of a deal if either team does end up losing. Winning the match would be ideal, of course, but it's going to be tough here, I feel like.
Yeah, now that you mentioned about it with the group stage like thingamajig, Singapore has been extremely impressive, like punching way above their weight, even though they lost two of their best players on Tapsis, who is traveling outside of Singapore at the moment, and Irumi, who has been screened out just before the tournament started. But despite that, they have won against Czechia 5-1, even though Czechia took three picks of their own because Singapore forgot to pick and their timer ran out. It's like a gentleman's sweep right after breakpoint after breakpoint. It's like, whoa, mind blown. And then they continued their hot streak against Poland, and they took 3 points off against the UK in the final day of groups.
Yeah, some impressive showings here so far from Singapore. Definitely deserving of their spot in the winner's side of the bracket, but still got a lot of work cut out for them here against this monstrous United States team. A lot of newer players for United States, as you mentioned. Singapore only really having two players that are newer for them. So this is going to be interesting. We haven't gotten to see United States play at all in this tournament. They just did their qualifiers and placed first, so they were exempt from the group stage. So not really fully sure how this match will go for them, especially considering it's quite early for the US, especially for some of the people who are on the West Coast. I believe it's only like 9 a.m. for them right now. So could be interesting, but I don't think it's going to make that big of a difference for the time, very least, here as we get into picks and bans here. Protects, we've got Hidden 2 Protect from the United States and a DT2 Protect from Singapore. And we're already seeing that No Mod 5 ban from Singapore, respecting the reading on the United States.
Yeah, that is an impressively good choice by Singapore because like the US are extremely impressive on the hiddens, like mainly the wildcard hiddens and obviously the reading, like off the backs of SkyZ and Taihai, also known as Taraga, like one of, if not probably the best like reading players of the tournament.
Definitely has a scary reading roster. We'll see how the rest of the maps go here. DT1 ban from United States into the Free Mod 2 ban from Singapore. So again, just trying to get rid of some more gimmick on the lower ARs. With that Hidden 2 Protect, can't ban that one. So that will be one of the final low AR maps. There is, of course, that Nomad 6, but it's AR 8.3, I believe, but it's that CS7 that makes it more difficult than the actual low approach rate. So not gonna be too big of an issue.
Yeah, Nomad 6 is gonna be like awkward. I mean, United States probably still has that hand, but like it could go wrong really fast, like if they don't lock in like on that Nomad 6. But even then, like, does Singapore have the firepower like to take on Nomad 6 is the big questions, as the US finally bans DT3 as their last pick, opting out of like the mechanical railgun roulette nonsense.
Yeah, that's gonna be interesting here from US. Not gonna allow the speed pick on that DT3. There are some other tapping maps available, especially with that DT2 being protected from Singapore. The United States team this year, we've seen different iterations of this US team over the years. Some years they've been more gimmick heavy, some years they've been more mechanics forward. I think this year definitely much more of a gimmick forward team, but they do still have players that can put up very solid scores on some of the more mechanics heavy maps like that DT2. So not necessarily a safe pick for Singapore, but definitely I think one of their best options.
Yeah, when you have a roster depth as insane as the US, like it literally just go for any World Cup like OWC for sure. But like for 5WC specifically, like having a 3-team like roster like helps them set up their rosters in huge ways. Like especially when you have like local tourneys like 5USC as well, like just giving them like extra info like for the roster picking, as the United States picks Hidden One first, opting for a like mixed mechanics pick actually.
Yeah, a little mixed mechanics on this one. It's got some alt to it. It's a higher BPM on the aim, but this is going to be one of the customs this week here. Actually, I'm looking, and I don't believe any customs got banned. Actually, it's the Fremont 2 custom? I think it is. So, just the Fremont 2 custom being banned, but this is going to be a Leiden custom. So shoutouts to Leiden for this one.
Absolutely fire, and there is a guest diff as well, so I think this might be going for rank, which is kind of awesome if that happens.
Would be very cool to see this one get ranked. I think there would need to be another difficulty, but I'm sure Leiden is more than capable of doing that. That custom command in the Twitch chat is for the previous week's customs of the group stage.
Oops.
Would need to see that updated. I believe this week's customs are Nomad 3, Nomad 4, Hidden 1, Hidden 3, DT2, and Fremont 2.
Yeah. DT2 is my Sanch, like, I really love Sanch as a mapper, like, absolute speed stamina goat.
Hey, we are just getting right underway here. All players in the lobby. We've got Skyzy, also known as Azurium, Shork Billathon, Mare, and AV Tori on the side of Singapore. You've got So Panda, Atora, Almond Mall, and Junk Maniac.
And we're gonna be here for a long time, 424, like third longest map of the map boost so far.
Definitely on the longer side. It's going to be a very heavy consistency check for the most part. Combos are going to be very important, and with it being on the hidden, some of these wide angle jumps can definitely trip up some players, but so far all players in the lobby are holding onto their combos, doing solid work on the accuracies as well. Just the 1 or 2 97% for either team, so not going to be too big of a score lead for one team or the other.
Yeah, I don't know where the breakpoints, like the diff spikes are gonna be on this map specifically, but like the whole mixed mechanics things like just makes me nervous, like, because any one moment that happens on either team, a one singular miss could swing the score massively on one team's favor.
Definitely the first break can give lead to either team that doesn't have it. But both teams looking so confident right now. It is going to be a first break on Singapore on Almond Mall, but Short Billathon is going to trade out, and actually AV Tori dropping combo as well now. So that gives combo advantage to Singapore for the time being.
Double break on Singapore!
Yeah, so Panda dropping their combo with Almond Mall again. It's going to even things out now. 2 FCs to 2.
Ooh, but the act difference as well, like making the score difference, like giving the lead for the United States as Skyzy and Mare holding on to the FC. Athora break! And Jungminik as well! It's a reset for Singapore!
Yeah, all the combos gone now on Singapore. This is not a good look so far in this map. It was doing pretty solid. They had the combo advantage, but unfortunately just got too much for them right now as Azurium and Mare are continuing to hold on to their combos. Recoveries are starting to build up for all of the players now. Shark Billathon on the highest recovery, and the Torak's going to be dropping more combo as we get into the halfway mark of the map. This is looking worse and worse for Singapore, but still potential. Just need to see these two combos break on the United States.
Yeah, and even if the two huge combos from Skyzy and Mare break, Singapore needs to hold on and also develop their act as Almamal breaks for Singapore. Heading into the Infinity Slider, no one slider breaks.
Yeah, we're gonna get into some of the more ulti section here now. Snap ult required here. So Panda gonna be dropping combo. No trades to be seen on the US, so still Singapore struggling to get these combos going on all of their players. They do have 2 recoveries starting to build up as AV Tori drops their combo, but still this is just gonna be so hard for them to bring back at this point.
Yeah, Skyzy Azurium showing off his massive experience, like a long dedicated history for the United States 5WC team. Like, the nerves of steel in this person.
Yeah, and unfortunately we do see those 2 big recoveries drop on the side of Singapore. Junk Maniac dropping before 700. I think Atorix dropped at 500 combo. So yeah, any hopes that they had to be able to bring this back are long gone now. It's just the United States show here on these 2 players who are continuing to hold on to the FCs. Both 98.5-ish% for both of them, so really, really solid scores going right now for these 2 players.
Yeah, and the next closest act as well from Junk Maniac 98.5 as well, but like just couldn't hold the combo. Like, and the next one beyond that is Athora with 97.6. Soul Panda with another break on the side of Singapore as the score difference balloons to 1 million.
1 million indeed. Azurium's gonna drop the combo, but you still have Mare just holding on to the score. And I do believe this is going to be an FC from Mare. Just an unfortunate couple of misses from Azurium at the very end of the map. Not going to be the 2 AFC, but 1 FC, more than enough. And I mean, Azurium almost reaching 1 million score despite having a couple of misses at the end. 3 million team score from the United States to start this off on their first pick.
Goodness, what a really strong start from the US, like showing off their hidden one.
Very, very strong showing indeed. This is why this team is so feared on stuff like these maps that I think a lot of teams would be scared to pick, especially because it is such longer maps. The fact that you're having basically 2 FCs on a 4.5-minute map is very, very hard to do. Singapore's team score, not bad by any stretch of the means. I mean, very solid team score. Every player almost reaching that 500,000 mark, but overall just didn't have any standout combos, unfortunately, for them as we get into their next pick now. It's going to be DT2. Just letting that protect go right away.
Yeah, if Singapore has any chances, like it would have to be their strongest pick, which is the protect that they're gambling on the Sanch custom Poisonous Rain. And also to mention earlier about Skyzy Azurium's act, like even though he missed, like he has a higher act than Mare, which is like really impressive as well.
Very, very solid scores from Azurium and Mare. We'll see how this one goes down. I have to imagine the US can definitely field 4 players in here for this pick. I think we'll be seeing Kevin come in, I imagine, for the US, but let's see.
Gonna be an entirely different look like.
Or Lil
US,
Nebula,
like,
not Kevin.
Connect
Excuse
roster.
me. I don't know why I get them mixed up. Very sorry about that. Lil Nebula coming in. Short Billathon and Rainmexia in as well. I believe we saw Avitori, so.
And for Singapore, we have Ding Ling Chen, Almond Mao, Apatier, and Athora X.
I may have said the wrong name. That's okay. Won't happen again. GLHF's coming out. Yeah, it looks like these are going to be the rosters here. Apple Tier and Ding Ling Chen going to be new faces in for Singapore. GLHF's coming out. Here we go. We need to see at least 2 FCs, I feel like, from Singapore in order to match this United States team. United States, they have potential to crumble. They are not unbeatable by any stretch of the means, but they are a very strong team.
I have a rough feeling that there might also be an AC requirement that those FCs that you have mentioned earlier have to be above 95, like for it to be a comfortable score lead for Singapore.
Definitely.
Oh my god. Speaking of, Almond Mao Aquatch 92%, but hopefully gonna climb up soon.
Yeah, just need to recover on that accuracy just a little bit. It is a 2-minute length map, so there is some time in it for the accuracies to regain, but the United States, I mean, they're working with 30,000+ points just off of the accuracy drops alone on Singapore.
Yeah, it's still really early doors at the moment, and the speed stamina on this, like Sanch, like holding like crazy 9-note burst mixed up with the 3-note burst. As Athora with the first break on Singapore, no one trading from the US side. Ding Ling Xuan with another break.
Just a couple of misses on the side of Singapore. Unfortunately, no misses to be seen on the US so far. We're reaching the halfway mark. Accuracy-wise, the US looking that much more solid. I think their lowest accuracy is still higher than the highest accuracy on Singapore, as the Torax is going to be dropping their combo once more. It's just up to Almond Mall and Apple Tier. They basically have to 2 AFC and hope for multiple misses from the United States, and we're just not seeing any breaks from them right now.
Oh goodness, the US freight train is coming along real fast, still holding onto the 4-way FC against 2 in Singapore, and even the FCs in Singapore don't even come close with the AC, as you have mentioned earlier.
Yeah, just struggling right now here at Singapore. They're doing their best though. They still have 2 combos. Good recoveries building up for both of their other players. If the US was to break, it would have had to have been way sooner. 1 million points already over Singapore. They're coming up to 4 million team score, which is absolutely ridiculous. They do pass that now, and it's still a 4-way FC into the end of the map. They get the 4-way FC. Hold on.
Okay, to pull off an Apraxia. Oh my god, it's a 4-way FC! What the hell?
4.5 mil team score, and you look over at Singapore and you're like 3.2 million. Like, that's crazy. That should be more than enough to get the point, but not against a team like the United States, unfortunately.
Nah, this actually is diabolical. What do you mean almost for 1.1 mils? Huh?
It's so gross. It's very, very gross from the United States here. And they can play it all. They can. They really can. This United States team is the one to beat. Singapore, 2 FCs, but just not enough. The accuracies, even if they 4-way FC'd, the accuracies would not have been there for them, unfortunately. They still would have gotten a crazier team score. The fact that they got 3.2 million is still very, very impressive. You cannot ignore that fact that Singapore put up some very solid team scores so far in this match, but yeah, it's just not enough versus the United States.
Yeah, Singapore may be giant slayers, but there's even levels to giants, which Yeah, the United States are like just beyond Titanic at the moment.
United States find themselves 2-0 right now, up the break point, and we're going to continue in with the hidden pool here on the hidden 3. They still have that hidden 2 protect as well for later on, but yeah, I imagine this hidden pool is going to be cleared out by the United States. They, as I said earlier, are more of a gimmick forward team, I feel like. Even though we just saw them 4-way FC the DT2, they do tend to enjoy a lot more of the gimmickier maps, especially when it comes to hidden.
Yeah, plus they probably don't need to worry about picking free mod 1 right away. I'd imagine they're thinking that Singapore is gonna pick free mod 1 for them, but even then, like once the pick returns to Singapore, I'd imagine they're gonna hesitate on it, like now that they have lost DT2, so that kind of worries me on Singapore's chances in the future of this match.
Yeah, I don't know for Singapore here what their next pick would be, especially losing your own protect. That's supposed to be like your safety pick, and I mean they played phenomenally on it, but the fact is they still lost it. And if you can't win on your own protect, it really begs the question, what can you win on? Normally, gimmick is a good route against some of these higher seeded teams. I think they tend to be more mechanically focused, but I mean, this US team can play it all. They can play it all. So whatever Singapore picks next, hey, I mean, at this point, you have to have multiple FCs. They had 2 FCs on that DT2, and it still wasn't enough.
I mean, what is enough against that 4-way FC with insanely good act? Like, I don't think there is anything else, like, unless you have 4 robots that could assess that nonsense.
Exactly. 4 robots required at this point, but we don't have robots here in this tournament, so these 4 players are gonna try their best here, like on my husband, Lyceon? I don't know how to pronounce that. Junk Maniac, Ding Ling Chen, and Lao Sai versus Short Billathon, Mare, Skyzy, and AV Tori.
Oh yeah, Lycon is DTRC, who has made a few custom maps, like, yeah, who's made few custom maps in the past 5 WCs. Pretty cool guy. And if I remember correctly, Lycon is like a character, male furry character from Honkai Star Rail. I don't remember the exact details.
There you go. The more you know. Laosai gonna be first to drop.
No one trading on the US. Continuing on the 4-way FC streak, DTRC with the miss on Singapore.
Just unfortunate start to the map here from Singapore. Again, down 2 players on the very early beginnings of the map. Actually, not even early beginnings. The map is so short. It's a minute and a half. We're already 2/3 of the way through now. These misses are really starting to compound for Singapore, but a couple of misses on the side of the United States. Hold on. This Schwark built on a Mare to drop the combos. Lao's not going to be trading as well as Lyceon, but now Dingling Chen drops a combo and it's 2 FCs to 1. It's going to be so hard for Junk Maniac to do anything on their own, and I believe this is a point for the US.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna say anything about US like holding on to their 4-way FC once again. Like, it would be like straight up mythical, like if they pulled off another 4-way FC, but Skyzy with the break. I was gonna say if there's gonna be 2 FCs, but AV Tori carrying the United States on the 3rd point of theirs.
Junk Maniac getting the highest ag in the lobby as well, FCing. Shoutouts to them. But US is going to be winning 3 points in a row now, 2 of them on their own picks. They just consolidated on that break point. So Singapore, they've got some work cut out for them still so far. What are they picking, though? I don't really know. Maybe you just let the Nomad 1 go, potentially. Or something just so consistency-based that, like, you just pray that you get a 4-way FC on.
And decisions. Like, I mean, No Mod 1 has a lot of potential for mistakes as well. Like, it has also 4 minutes, the Haru free run map. And if I was Singapore, I'd probably pick free mod 1. Like, and just get over the hesitation that you may have lost DT2. But, like, with free mod, there's different dynamics to it, like with the mod assignments, mod combinations that you have.
I mean, no pick is a wrong pick at this point, I feel like, from Singapore. I think whatever they choose to go,
no mod
they
6,
just have to
that
be
is
confident.
way out of left field.
Very, very interesting pick here. It's going to be the CS7 Nomad map. Air 8.3. It's a fun one. This should be fun, but it's a risky pick. It is a risky pick.
That being said, that could also show angles on whether they could pick the Hard Rock 2 in the future, should they look back to their pick right after. Like, they have at least one more guaranteed pick after this, and United States pick after.
Definitely one more pick, no matter what, guaranteed, as you said. That's just how it goes here in Best of 11. Them being second pick. But you would like to see Singapore put some points on the board. I think they are more than capable of doing it. On this Nomad 6, though, it's going to be difficult. The United States definitely comfortable on precision, but maybe Singapore is pretty solid on it as well.
Now, what is the US gimmick roster gonna be? I mean, this is a different kind of gimmick altogether, like with the precision as you mentioned. Ooh, gonna be the same roster.
It's interesting. This is the same roster we saw on both of the hiddens here for the US. So this is going to be the lineups for both teams. UHF's coming out now. You got Zuriam Mare, Shork Billathon, and AV Tori for the United States. Singapore, you've got Lycaon, Almond Mall, Junk Maniac, and Dingling Chen.
Ooh, DTRC. Oh my god, DTRC is still playing Hidden 3, no way.
DTRC not giving up on that Hidden 3. Say, run it back.
Lovely.
Is that an abort? Just now. Here we go.
There we go, we're
All
back.
is well. Just some Bancho things. What would a tournament be without Bancho doing Bancho things? Very small circles on this map.
Oh, Almond with the first break on Singapore. Yeah, with these small circles, you gotta like really pay attention to like where people miss. Junk Maniac and Skyzy trading each other. Almond and Mare as well.
Yeah, multiple misses already from both sides. It's just 2 FCs to 2 off the very intro of the map, so already, though, better accuracies across the board for the United States. Almond Mall dropped down to about 91%, I think, at the lowest. And you still have AV Tori holding on to an SS for the time.
Oh, you cursed it.
All right,
I wasn't gonna say anything.
You know what? Listen, sometimes you have to bring light the accuracies when they're good, but I'm sorry.
I made the exact same mistake last year and it didn't work out well.
At least, okay, never mind. I'm not gonna say it. I wasn't gonna say it. I was gonna say something, but yeah, still better accuracies on the side of the United States. They've worked up about 100,000 combo, especially because the misses, I think, were more on the side of Singapore. For them, they just had a couple more misses than the United States did, so that is also compounding that the recoveries are better for the US, but Short Billathon now dropping their combo. That is 1 FC remaining for the United States. Make that 0 now with AV Tori dropping, so now it's Lycaon and Dingling Chen have the opportunity to bring it back, and it is going to go their way if they keep holding.
DTRC, I don't know what to break. It's going to be really tight heading to the ending.
Dingling Chen. All hope is on this player. Unfortunately, misses, but you still have great recovery.
Maniac with the break as well.
And it's a complete disaster for Singapore now as Mare has this 400 combo recovery and they are going to bring that score lead back over to the US. It looked so good for Singapore, but in the end, I think the United States is just going to get another breakpoint.
By the skin of their teeth, Mare carrying the United States to another breakpoint, making it 4-0, returning it to their pick.
Yeah, that's so tragic from Singapore. Dingling Chen was doing their best to hold on to the combo. In fact, if they had held on to the combo there, that would have been the point for Singapore, guaranteed, but just missed at the most inopportune time, unfortunately. Dropped their score and made it so that United States are up 4-0 off of 2 breakpoints now.
Wait, DTRC has an S rank like with slider break. What?
Yeah, it's so unfortunate to see from Singapore. Unfortunately, 2 players over 600,000 for them. And just overall solid team score once more from Singapore, but the United States just barely squeak out the victory on that map.
I mean, to be honest, like Singapore have like promising signs to go onto the Hard Rock too. Like even though they lost that pick, like it was still relatively close, and even relatively closer than what happened on the DT2. So, like if I have to pick like between Hard Rock 2 and Fremont 1, I'd say Singapore pick Hard Rock 2.
I think Hard Rock 2 is a good pick for Singapore on their next one. United States, however, is their pick, and they're just gonna continue to close out this hidden pool. Now on that hidden 2, it's gonna be your low AR reading pick here from the US. I mean, they've looked really solid on the hidden so far. This hidden 2, I can't imagine will go any differently for them. Singapore, not the worst scores either from hiddens. I think this hidden 2 is maybe a little bit more accessible, potentially, but still they've got their work cut out for them.
Oh my god, with the hidden 2 appearance, I want to see Tarragon fly high play on this map. One of the best reading players in the tournament by far.
Yes, this should be her time to shine. You have to expect her to come in, unless she's maybe not here actually, because it is so early.
Oh yeah, that makes so much sense actually.
And I am seeing confirmations in the chat that Paragon is not here. So US may be playing with a less than optimal lineup on some of these picks too. Is troubling for Singapore, the fact that US still has yet to give up a point, but yes, 1 p.m. in Georgia, but she still isn't here, and that's okay. That's fine. United States, they are doing just fine down a player.
A little bit of a time gap going on.
Yes. We'll see how this one goes here. United States gonna close out the hidden pool now with this hidden 2. As low AR reading, courtesy of Yolks Pie, and we've got Azurium, Avitori, Mare, and Short Billathon in for the US. Singapore, Lekaun, Dingling Chen, Lao Sai, and Junk Maniac's gonna be your roster.
Keeping the rosters absolutely consistent. I think they kept the roster since what, like map 2 so far? I think
you're right.
I think the rosters have been same for the both teams like 4 out of 5 maps, like including this one.
Already, though, for Singapore, off to a rougher start. Lekaun gonna be dropping a combo, unfortunately. So US is gonna give a little bit of a score lead now, just off of that very early miss. Accuracy-wise, not looking too hot for 2 of their players, but still holding on to good accuracies on their other 2 so far, and Lekaun continuing to find more misses. Yeah.
And the act is not a good look for Dingling Chen either, like coming in cold with 93 act. Jumping Neko that's on the side of Singapore.
Already not a great start for Singapore here on this hidden 2. Such a difficult map now as we get into some more of the slider sections here. Short Built on gonna find a big chain break though. is going to help out Singapore just a little bit, especially with the Zurium dropping combo. Hold on, now it's 2 FCs to 2 and better recoveries on Singapore.
Okay, go on Lasai and Lin Meng Xuan, as well as the recoveries from Lycan and Chuck Minion. Gotta hold on for dear life.
You have to hold on, indeed. There's only hope. There's still half of the map remaining, so plenty of time to bring the score back, but it's just not really moving right now. I think the accuracies are playing such a huge role on the side of the United States. The fact that Lin Meng Xuan is FCing, but they're on 90% AC is not good for Singapore.
Hanging on by a thread, like, you need a United States catastrophic, like, 3-4-way miss at the bare minimum just so Singapore could get a chance as we head into the last quarter of the map.
So far, just not looking good for Singapore, but they're still trying their best. The score lead is starting to dwindle, but
Lin Meng Xuan with the miss, finally! Oh,
it's not going to be good. Lin Meng Xuan dropping that combo, just some misreads, unfortunately, and Laosai can't do it alone. Laosai can't do it at all now, finding the miss for them. So now it's just the recoveries of Singapore versus the recovery of Short Philippon and Azurium, as well as the 2 FCs from both Avitori and Marigan.
goodness. Mirror the break, but Avitori holding on to the FC. Will she? She hits the slider jumps. There we go. Oh my goodness.
It's just going to be another clinical FC from Avitori. Couple of S ranks there. Azurium with the 1x slider break, unfortunately. But yeah, just United States so dominant so far in this match. Proving why they are deserving of the #1 seed here in the tournament. Still, though, is going to be put up to match point now. Singapore backs against the wall. If they lose this match, it's not the end of the world. They will just drop down to losers bracket. But yeah, United States, they look so strong here.
What an incredible showcase from the United States so far, like 3 weeks off. I'm sure they played a lot of different tournaments in between, like the individual players, like, so they aren't essentially rusted at all. Like, they're just like tourney addicts.
Couple of tourney addicts indeed here. What do you pick if you're Singapore? I think we mentioned that Hard Rock 2 was a great idea for them, especially considering that Nomad 6 went so close as potential for them to have gotten the point there. Otherwise, honestly, I just think it's Nomad 1. Consistency is the
like
key
three
here.
different angles here. Free Mod 1, Hard Rock 2, Nomad 1. And Hard Rock 2 it is.
Hard Rock 2 indeed. Gonna try for more precision. Now this is less precision than the Nomad 6. I believe this is just standard 6.5 CS on the Hard Rock, so it's gonna be a little bit more accessible, but precision nonetheless.
Not to mention the higher AR as well. That could be another factor to play in, like for
Absolutely.
Singapore and their mechanics specialist.
Absolutely cannot more, especially if people aren't as consistent with their finger control to get better accuracies. But Singapore backs against the wall. I think they have it in them to put a point against this United States team. I think this Hard Rock 2 is probably their best pick.
And the BPM check as well, 166 BPM, so it is fairly similar to the Nomad 6 as well. So if they can transition their like eyeballs from AR 8 or less to AR 10, then they should do just fine, I believe.
Should do relatively well on this. We've got most players in the lobby here, just waiting that fourth player from Singapore. Actually, were they already in? Skyzy in their slot. Hold on. Yes, they were. I believe these are going to be your rosters. We see Arthur come in for the United States here on the Hard Rock. This is going to be one of the players that was drafted for Hard Rock specifically. A very solid mechanics player, especially when it comes to Hard Rock. Short Billathon, Azurium, Ray Mexia going to be your lineup for United States. We've got Panda coming back in for Singapore, Thorax, Junk Maniac, and Dingling Chen.
Oh boy, I want to see if Singapore can hang on like just for one map. Bring their heads up high, heading into the losers bracket if that happens.
Yeah, losers bracket on the line here. The Thorax going to be finding the first miss. Not too big of an issue, but I mean, just accuracy check. It's actually Arthur on the 91%, the lowest in the lobby. So it's not the best act, but they are holding on to the 3 combos now as Azurium finds a miss. Thorax finding another break though. And now Short Billathon also missing. Hold on a minute. It's 2 FCs and one of them's on very low act to 3 FCs right now. Singapore, they are going to start to swing the score lead back over.
And even though the misses are like relatively early, it is also a short map as Sting and Junk made their way to miss on Singapore in the middle of the map, so they get score capped. So Panda and Remexia trading.
Yeah, it was all 3 of the players that held on to the combos from Singapore. Find the misses. Now it's a full reset on Singapore. Arthur, the last remaining FC, despite having the lowest act, they are still holding on to the combo. They have the highest score in the lobby so far, and this score lead is now starting to become insurmountable, I feel like, for Singapore, especially the fact that they continue to find more misses, and they are continuing to struggle to hold on to combo. I think this might just be it. United States looking to put their 6th and final point on the board to knock Singapore down to the losers bracket.
Arthur, the embodiment of combo gaming, especially on Hard Rock.
Absolutely. Accuracy B.
Oh, Skyzy
Putting
with the
aside
choke
here.
sandwich. And Arthur, can he hold up? Oh my god, I cursed him. Ain't no way.
No. It's just very unfortunate. Does not get the FC in the end, but it doesn't matter. 700,000 point team differential here for the United States, and the United States find themselves moving forward into the quarterfinals in the winners bracket. GG, well played to both teams. I think Singapore showed very much so why they got reseeded to that seed 16, why they are deserving of that seed 16 spot. Just a very solid performance from Singapore throughout every single map. They just put up fantastic team scores, but against this United States team, fantastic sometimes just isn't enough.
I mean, Singapore have a lot of looking forward to, even though they're dropping down to losers bracket, they're up against whoever wins between Malaysia and Spain, and honestly, the matchups on the loser bracket are looking mad promising for Singapore. And obviously,
I think so.
like, the United States, like, I don't expect anything less from them. Like, this is just, like, what everyone expects of the US, like, as the #1 seed, as the defending champion. Skyzy, Remexia, Avitori, Short Billathon, Nebula, Arthur, and Mare showing off really nicely. Unfortunately, we didn't get to see Railgun here today.
Wasn't quite able to see it, but I believe that's going to do it for us for a while. I think there's still a few more matches later tonight. It'll be at 1:30 UTC between Chile and Australia, and then 3 UTC between Canada and China. And then the remainder of the matches seem to just all be tomorrow. So, yeah, thanks so much, everybody, for watching. Thank you, Mr. No Life, for joining me in the casting booth, and Tay for the stream as well. And, yeah, thanks so much, you guys, for watching. We'll be back with more matches later tonight.
Alright, bye-bye, y'all.